The Vikings are remembered as fighters, raiders of coasts, sailors of great ships. But behind their battles and voyages was a secret so ordinary we almost miss it. It wasn't a sword. It wasn't a ship. It was food. Food that lasted months. Food that carried them through winters and across stormy seas. Because in a world without fridges or freezers, the real enemy wasn't another army. It was hunger. And the Vikings found ways to beat it. To understand their survival, we must picture their home. Scandinavia was beautiful but harsh. The summers were short and busy. The winters long and cruel. The soil was rocky, harvest small. Imagine yourself as a Viking farmer. In summer you rush to plant, harvest and prepare, knowing every berry and fish must last the year. When the snows arrive, nothing grows. If your stores run empty in January, your family faces death. Food preservation wasn't helpful. It was life or death. Walk along a Viking shoreline. Wooden racks rise above the sand, rows of fish swaying in the cold northern wind. Drying turns soft fish into hard food that could last for years. Step inside a smoky longhouse. Strips of meat and fish hang from beams above a smoldering fire. The smoke drove away insects, slowed rot and gave flavor. Oak, birch, pine, each left its mark. For the Vikings, smoked lamb or fish wasn't a luxury. It was survival. Picture a chieftain's storeroom. Wooden barrels packed with slabs of pork and fish, layered in salt. Salt preserved food for weeks or months, but it was rare and costly. Poor families relied on dried fish, while the wealthy enjoyed salted pork. Salt wasn't just flavor. It was status. It showed power, hierarchy, and sacrifice. For Viking sailors, salted food could mean the difference between survival at sea or death before landfall. Step into a Viking farmhouse. The smell is sour and sharp. Fresh milk spoils in days. But the Vikings transformed it into butter, cheese, and skyr, a tangy yogurt still eaten today. They fermented vegetables in whey or salty water. Strong, sour flavors became the taste of safety. For a Viking child in January, biting into sour cabbage meant survival. Food harvested months ago, still nourishing. Not all food could be smoked or soured. Some needed shelter. The Vikings dug root cellars, storage pits lined with wood and stone filled with straw. Inside lay butter, cheese, turnips, carrots. The earth itself became their refrigerator. A boy climbs down into the cellar, pulls out a turnip and brings it back to his family. That plain root could be the reason they survived another week. The Vikings also turned to nature. They wrapped meat in peat moss to keep it fresh longer, and even buried butter in bogs. Archaeologists today still uncover bog butter, perfectly preserved after centuries. To the Vikings, these wetlands weren't wasteland. They were pantries. When winter came, the land itself became a freezer. Meat buried in snowbanks or caves lasted for months, but it was risky. Animals could dig it up, or a sudden thaw could ruin everything. Still, the cold was often their most reliable ally. None of these methods were perfect. Wind could spoil fish, fires could die, damp could ruin cellars. Some sagas speak of winters so harsh that families boiled cattle hides just to survive. Every barrel, every smoked strip, every sour jar was a gamble against time, and sometimes the gamble failed. What did Viking food taste like? Strong, salty, sour, smoky. Each bite carried fire, brine, or earth. Winter feasts celebrated survival. Smoked lamb, sour yogurt, salted pork. And their methods live on today. Smoked salmon, pickled cabbage, sour yogurt. The Vikings weren't just raiders. They were masters of survival. Their legacy is still with us, in the food on our tables.